You know, this should have been one of the easiest recommendations that I've ever made. It really should have. On paper, this pen has it all. Classical looks, commanding design borrowed from an icon, a piston filling mechanism, and a price that puts it in pretty much anyone's reach. It really looks the part, and it follows on from Majohn's recent success with the P139 and the P140, and it promises a similar premium experience at an affordable price. After a week of trying to love this thing, of coaxing it, of giving it every possible benefit of a doubt, I've landed on the unavoidable conclusion this is the pen that Majohn should have never made. In this video, I'm not going to tell you why you shouldn't buy it. I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to show you a couple of pens at a similar price point that are objectively and demonstrably better. Before we get into the autopsy, let's be fair. Let's talk about why I bought this pen and why you're probably tempted too. Because the appeal is undeniable. The Majohn P141 is shamelessly and boldly styled after the Montblanc 149. And in fact, the dimensions are almost identical. The 149 is a grail pen for so many of us. It's got that classic cigar shape. It's solid resin body, and it just impresses that oversized presence. When you first unbox it, you're impressed. The resin is glossy and deep. It catches the light in a way that makes it look more expensive than it actually is. It's got this rounded top finial with metal detailing and a distinctive two-band cap band that honestly looks pretty refined. It looks like a serious writing instrument. And then there's the features list, because it's got a huge size 8 steel nib like its siblings, the P140 and the P139, which is massive for a pen in this price bracket. And of course, the piston filler. No cheap converters here, no cartridges needed, a real integrated piston filler, a feature that's usually reserved for more expensive pens. So you've got a pen that looks like a legend. It feels substantial, and it's got a mechanical heart of a much pricier writing instrument. The promise is intoxicating. It's the promise of a champagne experience on a beer budget. And that is exactly where the dream ends, because a pen has one job to do. Its entire reason for existence is to write. And that's where this pen doesn't just stumble, it falls flat on its face, in my opinion. But it doesn't end there, because this isn't about one single flaw. It's a series of baffling design choices that cascade into an unsatisfying experience, and I'm going to break it down into 3 areas: the feel, the nib, and the mechanism. The first crack in the facade appears the moment you actually handle the pen. Yeah, it looks good from a distance, but the feeling in the hand tells a slightly different story, because the resin, while glossy, it feels quite hollow. It just lacks the density and warmth of better plastic resins like the real deal, the Montblanc 149. But also it feels less premium than even some of its direct competitors, like the Wingsung 630. But the most glaring issue is the piston knob. A piston filler is only as good as its mechanism. On the P141, the end cap that you turn to move the piston is loose. It wobbles, and there's this noticeable, disconcerting play in the mechanism before it even starts to engage. And this single point of contact completely undermines the entire feeling of quality. It makes the pen feel fragile and cheap. This is just a baffling step backwards, especially when Majohn's own P140 model has a rock-solid smooth piston knob. They know how to do it right, so why did they get it so wrong here? If the wobbly piston was the crack in the facade, then the nib is the sledgehammer. The whole point of a fountain pen is the writing experience. The number 8 steel nib of a Majohn P141 is, to put it bluntly, awful. Out of the box, it's on the dry side. It's stiff. It lacks character. It's one of the most boring number 8 nibs I've ever used. The ink flow is generally consistent and I haven't had any hard starts or skipping. There's just no softness, there's no bounce, there's no real character from it. The nib is just dead. It feels like you're scraping the paper, not writing, and for a pen with such big imposing character, you'd expect a confident wet line, and instead you get stingy, hesitant scrawl. It's particularly disappointing because its sibling, the Majohn P139 with a sun nib, actually writes much better and completely different, and this is also a fine nib. And this brings me to the most confusing part of the P140's existence, because Majohn already makes a fantastic pen in the exact same style, which is the P140. It's got a far superior sun nib and a feed that's wetter and smoother, and it's just so much more fun to use. The piston mechanism is solid. It's a pen that people rave about for its performance. So the question is, why does the P141 exist like this? Why would you create an opaque version of the P140 but swap out that excellent nib and a solid piston for parts that are clearly worse? It makes no sense. They had a winning formula, they have the parts, they have the design, they have the knowledge, and they chose to create a product that is a massive downgrade from its siblings. Look, if this kind of deep dive, no punches pulled breakdown is useful to you, if it helps you avoid buying a pen that you will regret, then think about subscribing to the channel. I'm here to test these pens so you don't have to, and your support really makes this possible. So I've told you why not to buy the Majohn P141, and it'd be cruel to leave you there. The good news is, for the exact same price, or even less in some cases, you can get a truly fantastic writer. And here's a couple of pens that will absolutely destroy the P141. Number one, the most obvious and frankly the most damning alternative. For the same money, you can buy the pen that the P141 should have been. The Majohn P140 gives you that same big, impressive presence and a piston filling action, but it comes with a magnificent sun nib that is everything that the P140's nib is not. It's smooth, it's wet, it's responsive, and it's a joy to write with straight out of the box. The piston knob is solid, the build feels far more reliable, and since it's a demonstrator, you get that cool factor of seeing the ink sloshing around as well. The P140's very existence makes the P141 pointless. If you want that solid, opaque, Montblanc-inspired look, then the Wingsung 630 is your pen. It's constantly recommended as a better choice over the P141, and for good reason. The build quality just feels more substantial, the plastic feels denser, and the fit and finish are consistently better, particularly on the piston mechanism. And most importantly, the nib of the 630 is known for being reliable. It's wet, it's a smooth writer from the second that you ink it up. It actually delivers on a promise that the P141 makes but fails to keep. So there we go. The Majohn P141 to me is a huge disappointment. It's a pen that represents a colossal missed opportunity for Majohn. It's got the looks, it's got the features out the box, but it fails in two areas that really matter the most: how it's built and how it writes. This pen feels like a rushed compromise. It's a perfect lesson that in the incredibly competitive world of budget fountain pens, looking good isn't good enough. Good enough isn't good enough anymore. And when Majohn itself and its competitors, like Wingsung, offer such incredible value and performance for the same price, there's simply no reason to settle for the frustrations of the P141. This isn't just a pen that I can't recommend, it's a pen that I have to actively warn you away from. Without a doubt, the pen Majohn should never have made. What about you? What was the most disappointing pen that you've ever bought? Was it your P141? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks again for watching.